Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. That's right, we're doing a third one.
We are doing a third one. And once again, we are Sans guest. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Harry's here.
Oh, what's that? We've got Harry.
Hello. Hello.
That was a perfect introduction. If you've never seen Harry before, he does that all the time. That's the only noise he makes. And he has tiny, tiny hands. It's very popular with the lads. He makes them feel good about themselves, if you know what I mean.
Christ.
Podcast, pop podcast, podcast, pop podcast. It's a fucking podcast. It's a podcast. So, welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We usually have a formula to these things. But,
we do. I'll tell you what, because I've got a fucking Google document. I have actually prepared for this podcast.
I've also got a Google document, which is for the special segment I've planned for Harry. Because he's our guest, I'm going to do a special segment for everyone who comes on. It's going to be individual to them, and I've got one ready for Harry, and it's going to be great. So I'm going to let's just jump right into the podcast, guys. What's your favourite swear word?
Oh, go on, Charlie.
I think it's probably shit, actually.
You see, I made the mistake of asking the question without thinking about it first, and now I'm sat here going, I wonder what my favourite swear word is.
Yeah. Well, you're making me think a lot as well. I want to say, like, prick, but is that a swear word?
Not a huge fan of prick, I'll be honest. I think it counts.
Oh, I do have a favourite.
Zen, I'm surprised you didn't say twat.
Twat's pretty good.
I do like twat.
Is pretty good.
Like twat. I mean, really, I just like, racial slurs, anything that like really, really badly like upsets people. The more not okay it is, the better. That's my favourite.
Oh no, I'm gonna go twat actually. Now that you said it, twat's a good one. Yeah,
right.
You twat. It's pretty good.
Twat.
Yeah, it's pretty
fucking
good.
Hawaii, man.
Hawaii, man. Yeah, it's pretty good.
So yeah, I quite like bollocks. I think bollocks is good. That's just
good.
There's a lot to that.
Is that on the level of
of
swearing though? Is that really?
Yeah. Come on, it's a curse word.
Cuss word, man.
Cuss word.
Cuss word.
I once got told off by my mum when I was a kid for saying taking the piss.
Yeah, well, I mean,
if you,
it's pretty vulgar, to be honest.
If my child said, "Oh, ma'am, you're taking the piss," first of all,
no, I didn't say she was.
I'd be like, first of all, I'm your dad. Second of all, you shouldn't be speaking like that, you little bastard. You little twat.
God.
So I think slunt is a classic one.
Slunt is.
But that's
pinnacle.
not generally accepted. It's not in the dictionary of swears. The reason I was thinking about this is because I was thinking about when I was a really young kid. My uncle is brilliant, and he has a VW camper van, and he was driving us, me and my brother and like my cousin. He was driving us around when we went round to visit him. He lives on the south coast. And we were talking, of course we were, because I was a very young kid and he's a proper uncle. We were talking about swear words, and I was listing all the swear words that I knew, and he was going, yep, that's good. And I was like, oh, I know, fuck. And I was like, yep, that's a good one. And then so that's a normal. I think that's quite normal. What was great about it is that about 2 or 3 years later, we went down to visit them again, because it's quite a long way away. And we were driving around in his camper van again, and I said, oh, uncle, I know a new swear word. And he said, all right, go on then. And I said, cunt. And he said, whoa, that's a really bad one. He was like, really.
It is a bad one though, isn't it? I mean, if you turn around to someone and go, you cunt, it's pretty.
I've been desensitized to it.
Cuts.
I like it because I like it. I think it's like egalitarian. You'd call someone a dick all the time, like no problem. So I want to bring cunt down to that level, So it's all about. I mean, I used to really not like it, and my friend used to say it, and I would like sort of not. It was like the one swear word I wouldn't say, and then and then over time I got really, really desensitized to it, and now I don't care, and I think it's one of my favorites, as you might have noticed because I say it all the time on stream.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, obviously, fuck's a classic in terms.
Fuck is a classic. Everyone loves a good fuck.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it's used in such a good way though, like just emphasizing stuff, Like it's just like it's fucking amazing.
On the same token, F.E.A.R from Battlestar Galactica, that's a really good one. I used to love it. There's just something about the way it's just a completely different like sort of direction with your mouth. Yeah, it's because it's like the opening of the mouth, the rise, like more. You can like put more aggressiveness. Fuck is a bit weird because you sort of having to like
give me an
close
aggressive
your mouth.
frack then. Go on.
You fracking bastard! I'd like to apologise to my neighbours once again, and to headphone users. Press F in the chat. We've got a little group chat going here for the thing. I'm just going to put an F in there.
I will also do that. There you go.
Harry, come on. Put an F in the thing that the people can't see. There we are. That is top quality non-content. Let's just jump right into the podcast, guys. So I've got another interesting little story for you. I would like to just state for the record, if my parents are listening, other than the swear word incident, the uncle in question is absolutely brilliant. I love all my extended family to bits, and I think that was a very important life lesson to learn how to swear responsibly with a responsible adult.
Do you have do you have multiple uncles?
Yes, but
you're going to protect his identity at this stage.
I just think it's probably there's no question as to which uncle it is. There's, I mean, first
Barry
of all, I said where he lived.
Huh?
But even if I say, I've already said like where he lives in the country, so that pretty much narrows it down to one of two uncles. But even if I hadn't, I'm pretty sure if someone was listening to this that knew my uncles, they would definitely know which one it was. But yeah, no. Another topic I've got here, just a little fact for you: the American flag that they planted on the moon. They were eventually bleached by the solar radiation because there's no atmosphere on the moon, and they are now completely white. So if
they
the
surrendered
aliens,
the moon?
So I quite like that. First of all, I think it's funny because the first thing that the aliens invading, they're going to come from the dark side of the moon, and the alien commander's going to be scampering around on the bridge and they're going, "Sir, sir," in a little alien voice. "What is it, underling? The humans, they have surrendered already." "Excellent. Send the peace ships." So they send in the peace ships, and then obviously the humans are like, "Oh shit, there's aliens. We better nuke them real quick." And then like so the first wave of alien ships is going to be expecting to just waltz in because they've seen the surrender. Bam! Straight up nuke to the face, and then the alien's like, "Oh shit, these guys mean business. Maybe we misinterpreted the signs." Blah.
It's a fucking long game, isn't it? Really, I think that's probably the Americans' plan all along.
It's like covering all the bases, but also I think it's quite nice because I mean it's not the surrender flag, fine, but it's sort of it's the flag of peace, and I think it's quite nice that we went up to space in quite a nationalist spirit and like put an American flag on the moon. We were like, yes, America got here first, and now there's just like a nice peaceful white flag that belongs to all humanity. And I think it's quite a nice, wholesome story. Wholesome is what we go for here on the podcast, isn't it,
Yeah.
you cunts?
There's that word.
On the note of wholesome, as you know, Zen, we have two topics that we have to talk about every podcast. Now, the
Guinea
first
pigs
is, of
and
course,
the sedgenum.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, following that theme, obviously, I thought I should give you an update on the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
So today actually yesterday, we built them an extension on their run, on their house.
Okay.
So
Is it made out of
that's
CNC
nice.
or something?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Just bricks and mortar.
just built an actual house.
CNC, to explain, is a sort of modular guinea pig cage that you can like build additions onto. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
I assumed at first you just bought like a big normal cage and you were like, let's just cut these wires open and sort of like stick a bit on with like super glue and green stuff from Great Games Workshop. And like, yeah. But no, I'm glad you did it properly. Okay, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely happy to hear that. You got them an extension. That's lovely.
So yeah, and we've also swapped out all of the wood shavings for fleece, including in the
good.
extension, and it's like cow print, so it's like black and white. It's cute.
I definitely want to see a photo of this later.
I will send you a photo.
Excellent.
So yes, and of course last week we talked about how I was planning to evade capture with my
Yes.
parents and the extra guinea pig. So we actually successfully pulled off the whole charade. It was rather like a farce.
Was it like a fucking like it was like an episode of Carry On Camping or something?
It really was.
Not an
It
episode. It was like an episode
really
of
was.
Faulty Towers. You were like
Yeah.
hurrying guinea pigs from one room to the other while someone stood in the corridor and stalled them. "Hey, have you seen the lovely begonias out there? You live in Newcastle. There's no flowers anywhere." Yes. And then Harry's like scampering about, clutching at guinea pigs, and they're running all over the place.
Harry was masterful with his art of deception and distraction, rather, not deception.
What, by talking?
Yeah, you were
constantly?
just talking to my mum constantly and like hurrying my dad over to the other side of the room to put up the curtains.
No, look at these curtains. Look at this curtain rail.
Yeah.
You know, it's
What
like-
you should have done is just been like, "Hey, hey, Charlie's dad, I've just found this random spigot from something, and I can't figure out what piece of machinery it's come from. He'd like, his eyes would light up and he'd charge over, and if you're there turning it around, examining it, he'd pull out a little monocle. This is from a B486 2-tap type. That's not
Yeah,
how he
he'd
talks.
fucking know, wouldn't he? Straight off the bat.
That sounds like John Richardson off of Channel 4. You're a B482 type. Me, I'm Charlie's dad. Me. Doesn't really work. Why does everyone who an impression I do of anyone, it always ends in meh? Oh, Elon Musk's back, lads. No,
Elon
we can't
Musk.
bring Elon Musk back. Elon Musk is busy today. He's not able to join us for the podcast. He's busy taking a huge amount of PCP and trying to build a space rocket out of 2 vodka bottles and a mobile phone. And it's going very badly, but we're
He's
just
in
going to leave him to
WikiHow.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh
we're
my
just going to
God.
leave him to it. I can see him over there in the corner. He's glaring at me, so I think I better shut up about him.
So yeah, that's my update on the guinea pigs. Now the next topic, obviously, is the sedulum, which we
Yeah.
obviously visited again.
Hang on, is this really a topic?
Yes, this
Oh
is
my
really
god,
a
I
topic.
thought Zen was taking the piss.
No.
No?
Every
Oh.
podcast we talked
oh
about
my
it.
god, please.
So-
do.
I'd like to state for the record that I'm not particularly happy about these 2 topics because I think that they're really, really boring. But they're sort of they've become tradition now. And if there's one thing that we're really about at the cult, it is tradition and wholesomeness. Wholesome traditions. Go on, Charlie.
So my parents came up and my mum wanted to visit it. So then we had to go again, obviously. So we met Harry there because he had to go into work in the morning.
Yes, have a job and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a nerd, huh? I'm
Alright.
full-time unemployed. It's great. I just sit in my room taking PCP and starting game projects, then abandoning them after a week.
Anyway, so yeah, we visited the sedulum and we looked at everything all over again. And basically, the only new thing that we learnt was that it's not actually pronounced sedulum; it's segadunum.
Segadunum. Yep.
That makes more sense. It
That
sounds
reveal, though.
It sounds just as stupid, but it makes more sense given that Sedgedunum is a dumb name. Segadunum is a dumb name, but it makes sense because it's a fucking Roman fort. You know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna have to rename the entire segment of the podcast from Sedgedunum topic to Segadunum.
Segadunum. Yeah, I kind of like
Segadunum, 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 Segadunum.
Copyright strike.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop that. That's gonna be our jingle cats for next year. It's just me making the
my
Doctor Who
God.
song out of Segadunum.
Is that what theme you were singing? I was trying to figure out what theme you were singing. I just couldn't. I didn't get it. No.
Is that right? Now this is where
No, that
Charlie
wasn't
says.
a diss to you. That wasn't a diss
No.
to you.
This is where Charlie says, "Of course, I got it because you were doing a really good impression. It's fair that Harry didn't get it, but you're doing a really good impression of it, Zen." That's what you say, right, Charlie?
Yes.
Good.
To be fair,
Excellent.
she picked
No,
it
it
up.
was
right?
pretty good,
She
actually.
picked it up. She picked it up.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I thought I just I need as we've been through the main point of this podcast is to protect my ego. It's like a it's like a sort of sink for all
Ego
of my
pushing.
vulgarity to like get it all out in a space of between 40 and 60 minutes. For the good of the local community.
So last week you said that you would continue your point about Norway this week. Do you remember even vaguely what you were on about?
Yeah, but I don't think anyone for the life of me is interested. This could be a hook.
Well, I want to know.
Can I just rewind to Segadunum?
Segadunum.
Yes, of course.
Charlie missed the best bit of that day, which was her mum being rattled around on
yeah.
bumpy stones in her chair. So
Yeah.
We went out to the fort.
My mum's in a wheelchair.
Oh, I bet she loves that. I mean, I would love that. I'd like being in a wheelchair. I'd like the luxury of having someone else having to push me around. Your mum is definitely someone who likes to do things for herself.
Yeah.
I think she's
she is.
probably very annoyed about it.
She hates it. But yeah, so the Segadunum is like the outside bit is so not like wheelchair accessible at all. It's basically
the Romans
just...
weren't very good at accessibility. I mean,
Nah, they weren't. In fact, to be honest, I'd go so far as to say that the point of Hadrian's Wall was to limit accessibility.
you think? Yeah.
Fucking poor Charlie's mum having to deal with being rattled around the Segadunum.
She was like shaken.
It was kind of classic though. She was just
Ooh,
like,
look, Charlie's
"Whoa."
mum.
That was really good.
Look at this lovely piece of wall, and look at this lovely Roman bit of like cloth and stuff. I can't fucking concentrate. You're rattling me around like a bastard.
Yeah, I did say, I was like, do you want to read this sign? And she looked at it in the distance and she was like, nah, let's go inside.
There you go. You can move on now. I just thought that was an important part of that day that you missed.
That is an important part.
yeah,
I'm glad that we didn't move on to the next topic, which is not Norway.
Okay.
You're not.
No,
you're not
I'll
moving
say
on,
it.
you
All
point?
right, what is it?
All right, fine. It wasn't interesting. We were talking about Christmas trees, and we were talking about. Incidentally, my parents have just gone and got one. It's outside, stood in a bucket, because they've got a real one this year.
Okay, nice.
So they The thing about Norway is we were talking about Christmas trees, and I said, do we ship our trees over from Norway? And because I think we do from Norway or Denmark or something, I can't remember. And Charlie said no. And then I started to say, well, it's probably for the best because we are destroying all of Norway's forests with acid rain, because that's the way that the wind blows. That's the prevailing wind blows our air over to Norway, and we pump all these like toxic chemicals into the atmosphere, and it makes acid rain. And then we don't have to deal with most of it because it all gets blown onto Norway, where the whole country is like covered in beautiful landscapes, incredible ancient forests, such natural beauty, and the British are just there like on the other side of the North Sea, smoking a big cigar, sat there with Elon Musk taking a bunch of PCP, going, "Hey, look at those Norwegians." I don't know why I went Mexican now. Apparently, there's also look at those Norwegians. Look at their beautiful trees. We are destroying them. Yes, more industry. Why you put? Look, First Lord of the Admiralty, why are you putting on that terrible accent? I spent a lot of time abroad. I may have picked up a little bit of the accent. I think you're offending a lot of people, Admiral. No, it's fine.
The thing is, though, it sounds like we haven't changed much then since, the pelting age and the Great Empire and everything else. But that's okay. I mean, consistency.
What, Norway?
No, Britain.
Britain.
We're always fucking stuff up, mate. That's the way we do. That's what we do.
That's what we do, yeah. It's our great noble
It's
tradition.
our gift to the earth.
Yeah, it's like how everyone gets a racial ability. Like night elves can go invisible. Orcs can go berserk or whatever. And the British, we go round fucking things up for other people. I say, chap, have you got any diamonds? No, it's only beautiful Norwegian pine forests. Ah, well, no good with that. Yes, no, we'll build more factories and put an end to that. No good.
So
Come on.
hang on. So what's the point of this again? I completely derailed it for you. What's the point? So we acid rain on Norway.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That was
Is that it?
That
Is
was
that
the
where we're
point.
at?
It was just
Yeah.
a passing notion, which I
That's
said.
all right.
I started talking about it, and Charlie said, and I said to Charlie, "Actually, that's not very interesting. I can't be asked finishing that." And she said, "No, we're going to leave that in the podcast, and it'll annoy people."
I mean, it's quite interesting. Let me ask a genuine question. What would acid rain do to the people, or is it not got high enough
I
consistency?
mean, the Norwegian people aren't made of
just
different
melting
stuff.
in the rain.
Yeah, Norwegian people aren't made out of like tissue paper and sugar.
Okay.
I
don't know.
You get acid rains on all the time. It's just that we it's a bit worse over there, so it doesn't bother you. It's like if you
basically-
spilled orange juice on your skin. It's not.
All right, so it's not a big problem then, is it?
I mean, it's
all
just
right.
fucking up to
Yeah,
trees.
it
It's
is
a
a
big,
big
problem, just
problem.
not to human beings.
That's brilliant. That is. Is something directly going to harm
Let's
me?
be honest, isn't that the way the world works?
That man over there is building a huge factory. We think it might have environmental concerns. Is it building knives which are going to stab me? No. Well, there's no problem with it then. It's not that harmful. There are different levels to this sort of thing, Harry.
Okay, sorry.
I feel so bad. All that we said to Harry, "Hey, do you want to be on the podcast? It'll be really good." We planned this like in the summer. We were like, we should get you on as our first guest. It'll be really good. My computer screens have gone off. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Don't worry.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
But yeah, we were like, "Hey, let's get Harry on as our first guest because we like him. We'll be nice." And as soon as Harry comes on the podcast, I'm sat here doing a Mexican accent, going, "You are fucking stupid. You ask these terrible questions. Why don't you fucking kill yourself?" And you're just there like, "Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I came on the podcast."
But yeah, okay, cool. Right, well, I'm glad that I've got educated. So Charlie, what are we talking about? What are we doing?
Christmas trees.
Oh.
Zen, you just said that your parents got a Christmas tree in a pot.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
We just got a Christmas tree.
It's just in a bucket.
You'll be glad to know
In my
that
bucket.
ours is not a real tree.
It's not a real tree.
It's not a real tree. We got a
Excellent.
fake tree. It's super cute. It's covered in like pine cones and berries, so it looks like.
I may
nice.
attempt to eat them at some point.
I was
if
gonna
I
say-
get too intoxicated.
After 2.5 pints, you'll be. I must say, Charlie, I have a question.
Yep.
Are they the sort of berries you could forage in the wild without tools?
Yes, they are. Zen, you'd love them. That's your lunch right there.
That's all I want to eat is nuts and seeds and other things of that nature that I can forage in the wild without tools. So let's just jump right into the podcast, guys. Charlie,
can we hold on for 1 sec and not jump into the podcast while I grab another beer?
Are you drinking already? Even I'm not drinking.
Can you grab me a beer as well?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
I'll be 2 seconds.
Advantage of living in close proximity, slavery is not abolished. But no, we don't need to pause the podcast. I'm just now the new co-host.
Usually what I do when Charlie goes away from the microphone during the podcast is I get my guitar out and I play some terrible, terrible music so that she has to cut it out, and sit there and listen to it.
Will you play some for me?
What do you want me to sing you a song about?
I don't know. Sing me any song. Sing me about acid rain melting Norwegians.
If only I knew Raining Blood. I could just replace it. Acid rain! And the rains, they came from the southwest, where Britain had built factories. And it rained down on our forests and destroyed all of our trees. And it was really bad. I could see them smoking cigars and speaking in Mexican accents. And now all of our forests are gone.
So now that's why you're singing this song, isn't it? Yeah, right. Together, I think we could be famous.
Aren't we already famous? Isn't that why we're doing the podcast?
Hello guys, I have returned. What are you talking about?
Zen was playing a song about acid rain in Norway.
I think it was some of our
Beautiful.
finest work. Harry was like giving me notes and like creative direction. And it was a beautiful collaborative.
While we're on the topic of music, I am trying to get hold of a piano. Like a digital.
Electric, not grand.
I told Harry I wanted a piano, and he thought I was going to get a grand piano. He was like, where are you going to put it? I was like, what? It doesn't take up that much space. And I was just trying to picture this massive grand piano in our living room.
It's because I thought the definition of a piano was a grand piano. I thought everything else was just a keyboard.
No.
What about a piano that you would see in a Wild West saloon? They're not grand pianos and they're not Casio keyboards. There is a middle ground.
Casio keyboards. Oh goddamn tootin'! Seen this piece of tech here? No.
What you got there, Bill? Well, you see, this is my new Casio 286 piano. You see, it has multiple sounds. Not only can I do the normal piano sounds, but it can also do a trumpet. Bloody hell, Bill, that's a fantastic piano. Casio pianos, now only $200. $200? This is the Wild West. You could buy a horse for that. End of advert.
They are super expensive, actually. I
apply.
did look up, buying a new keyboard. Fuck me, for a decent one, that's £300.
Yeah, you buy cheap, you buy twice.
That is true. That is very true.
I'm looking for a second-hand one now. Like a good one, but second-hand.
That's a good saying, that.
That's my policy for girlfriends. I look for a good one, but second-hand.
Not
is that misogyny?
I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna let that.
How close to the misogyny line are we there?
Close.
I think you're walking along it, yeah.
Charlie, you're a woman. You don't get to say on where the misogyny line is, okay?
Okay.
Harry, I only am interested in
now
your
we're
opinion.
over the line.
Yeah, now we're over the line. We did it. We did the misogyny. Let's tick that off the list of things to do. Is that in your Google Docs?
It's not, no. The Google Docs is gone. Harry, I'd just like to ask, why are you recording the podcast in the dark in your office? I just went in to give you a beer.
I feel it gives a certain ambiance to the
It's
podcast.
like playing a horror game, isn't it? You're like, I'm going to be trapped in a confined space with Zen for an hour and a half. I need to have the same atmosphere.
Yeah, essentially.
Beautiful.
But it's just quite nice, isn't it? It's I don't often get to sit in the dark. So I'm just going to embrace that right now.
That's one of the many reasons I love you, Harry. You just you just appreciate things that other people, it might pass them by, like the pleasure of occasionally sitting in a dark room. But no, you're right there on it. Good on you, chap.
Yeah. Everyone else just hits the light switch.
And you pause with your hand over the light switch and think, Do I really need this right now?
No, I do not. So I'll just save the world one little bit of fossil fuel at a time.
We did it. We solved climate change. The Norwegians' trees have all grown back. Harry did it.
But yes, we were talking about Christmas trees before I went for beer. Harry, would you
correct.
like to tell us your opinion on real versus fake trees?
Ooh.
This is going to be the question we ask every guest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, only in this period, I hope.
No.
It'd be a bit random if you're in the middle of May, like, what Christmas tree do you prefer? Well, I mean, I was raised on real trees.
That must have been very uncomfortable.
I mean,
We just sitting at the dining table. Fuck, this steak's really tough.
We couldn't afford a carpet, so we just put down pine trees.
But I mean, real trees are beautiful. Obviously, you chop them down, but they are grown to be chopped down, I presume.
They are, yes. Well, they don't chop down wild ones.
Yeah. So that's not too bad.
Free range.
And then at the same time, yeah, free range. They get to roam, but I suppose at the same time, it's like. Plastic trees. Are they plastic? I presume it's a form of plastic. Right. Because obviously plastic's shit and you can't recycle it that well, right?
Yeah, I don't think you could recycle a tree.
That plastic production that goes into your fake Christmas tree might be causing the acid rain that's burning down all Norway's forests.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's one thing, and then the other one is obviously the biggest argument you've got is logistics, isn't it? Because then you argue, well, is it worse for the environment to have plastic trees, or is it worse for the environment to chop down trees and then drive them or fly them or whatever?
It depends where the plastic
around
ones
the
are
world.
made, you know.
China! So, yeah, they're made in China, so that's obviously bad. Because it's plastic tree with fucking export. I guess plastic trees are worse, I guess.
But then you only buy one of them. Like, you
Yeah.
buy one every 10
if they're
years,
grown...
but you buy 10 trees.
Yeah, but people die, and people need new tree, right? So...
Like, when a person, it's not like their demon out of the Golden Compass. When a person dies, their Christmas tree doesn't vanish with them. It's not their external soul. The Christmas tree is still there. It'll end up in a charity shop, or the other people in the household might still use it. It's
maybe, but then they might die, and then
what? I'd go out on a limb and say that they probably will, given that they're also human.
But the point is right, is that they will eventually get tattered and break, and if they're growing real trees, then at least you're not deforesting anything. So that's exactly the point. I know that it's an artificial forest, but if you're cutting down trees, you are exactly deforesting. That's the definition of the word. Yeah, but if it's an artificial forest, that wouldn't be there in the first place.
I do take your point, of course. I just like to point out...
I do take your point. I just don't like it.
No.
But yes, okay. No, I just don't. I know what you mean.
Brilliant.
I take your point and I throw it in the fucking bin.
I take your point and I think you're a twat.
No, I know what you mean. It is still deforestation if you plant it and chop it. Yes.
I'm more interested in the definitions of words than I am in actual moral questions. Can I just interject the podcast for a second to give a shout out to Ice.Furful?
You can indeed.
Because Ice bought the Jingle Jam charity bundle, giving good money to excellent charities around the world. And Ice then, I tuned into the Jingle Jam this morning and they were playing, excuse me, I've just run up the stairs, very out of breath. I ran up the stairs and then didn't pause for breath before I started talking. I tuned into the Jingle Jam this morning and they were playing Convoy, which is a game that I really like the look of. I've seen it before and I thought, wow, this looks like loads of fun. I wonder if it's in the bundle. It is in the bundle, and I can't afford the bundle. I have no money at all. And then Ice pops up in our Discord chat and it's like, hey, I just bought the bundle.
Here's all my CD keys.
You all can help yourself to these keys. And there was bloody Convoy there in the middle. So I was like, oh my God, can I have Convoy? Is that all right? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, oh, thank God, you beautiful, beautiful person. Thank you so much. I was like so grateful because I've just installed it and I've been waiting until after the podcast. And I'm gonna drink quite a lot of beer and play Convoy. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. So thank you very much, Ice. I just wanted to give you a quick shout out, not only for donating generously to charity, but also donating generously to me.
No, that is,
and the cult as a whole. Yeah. I mean, I was a bit shocked to see that, but I know he doesn't tend to play games that much. He just watches us look like idiots instead, which is which is probably better, to be honest. But yeah,
that's better for us.
But no, yeah. Yeah,
Got to get that sweet
Right.
Twitch money, am I right? How much did I
Yeah.
make this month?
Twitch dollar.
We got 50p from
Hey,
adverts.
he donated yesterday. He was a fucking
Yeah,
bell.
Aw.
he did.
Yeah.
What a lad.
Such
he
a
did.
sweetie.
He said, I think he said Merry Icemas or
He
something.
did.
Santa
He
Ice
did.
or
He said
something.
Santa
I don't know.
Rice.
Sanitize?
That'll be the first song on our Christmas album, Santa Ice. Shall we do a Christmas
Let's do
album?
it.
I mean, how long have we got until
I
Christmas?
really
Like 2
want.
weeks?
No. Not this year, but next year we will at least put out one Christmas song. Not an album. I don't think we can handle an album.
I can knock up a Christmas song. It'll be terrible, but I can knock up a Christmas song. I can do a full album.
If you can write a
I can't
piano
do
part
anything.
for it, I'll play it, and we can do a live rendition of it.
That's fine. I'll write the piano part, and what I'm going to use is the computer. So you can play
That's
it
fine.
for a live rendition. We'll
With,
open
like-
the karaoke stream, which we will never ever do with a live rendition
That is a
of our
lie.
Christmas song.
That is a lie. We will do the karaoke stream.
Just like you are now doing the podcast.
Yeah, we
You
did
will do it.
Exactly.
podcast.
We
It
did
will
it.
just be
We're here.
delayed,
We did a
yeah.
podcast. We're on it.
I can die happy
Is
now.
this currently the podcast?
This is currently the podcast. We are on a podcast, Harry. Are you not aware?
I just thought I was sitting
we
in
were
a
just
dark
having
room.
a nice chat. Just a dark room with an Amstel.
Oh, shout out
Right,
also to A Dark Room, which is an excellent browser-based game. If you're trapped in school and don't want to do your work, go to adarkroom.com or whatever it is. Don't misspell it, because that sounds like it could be a bit risque. But
100% risky.
but yeah, A Dark Room it's a really weird game. It takes a while to play, but it's really fun. It's excellent games design. If you're a games designer, play it.
Yeah. So what he's saying is don't study and play games at school.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
basically the cool advice.
That's what I did, and I ended up with a distinction class master's degree, so I'm pretty happy with that.
kind of shows, guys. Games equals results.
Games equals knowledge equals power.
While we're talking about games, we've been playing Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, I saw that.
The
The first one. So yeah, that's good. Harry's been teaching me how to play it, and I actually really fucking like it.
Charlie had never played it.
And if we can,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it on stream.
Sounds good.
So
I mean, I like that sort of game.
Have you played that?
No, I don't think I have. I used to play like Theme Park World and like Theme Hospital.
Oh,
I really
yes,
like that
yes.
sort of game, but I don't think
Yeah.
I've played Roller Coaster Tycoon. I might have done once or twice.
I used to play a Theme Hospital, like popping the heads and curing invisible people
great.
and stuff like that.
I mean, I haven't
Yeah.
played 2 Point Hospital, which I think is definitely a
Oh,
spiritual
yeah.
successor, but I sort of don't want to because I love the original
you
so
don't want
much.
to ruin it, right?
Well,
yeah,
I hope it's as good. If it's not as good, I'll just be like, oh well, I've just wasted my time on this. I'll just play the original. But I think it is good. I know that Sips has been playing it a lot. You know.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I mean, because for me, like, I grew up with Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, so I know it stupidly well. Like, watching Charlie today play it was a bit tilt-worthy.
You're not
because obviously I'm so
optimally.
fast in comparison. So it was like,
The
path is
the
here.
mad
This
APN.
is here. It was like,
Com-
it was like fuck.
we need to
but,
get you into the competitive Roller Coaster Tycoon leagues. You can be our
Yeah.
esports player.
Oh, and he's building a track. Oh, he's building the chain up to the roller coaster.
Oh, the
Oh,
roller
my
coaster's
God,
broken down. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, he sent an engineer to
Oh my
repair
God.
it. This is
Oh,
high
he's hired a
level
mechanic.
play.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, but Charlie was getting into it, which was great. But I used to play it when I was a kid. Loved Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. But then just like what you're saying was it 2 Point Hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like with that, when Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 came out, which was ages ago, it went all 3D and all super weird, and I hated it. I bought it and I hated it. And I think it's just one of those things that when you grow up with a game, you're like, that's your fixed point in time of that
Yeah,
series.
true.
And it's like me with COD now. Like, I can go back to COD 4 any day of the week and be like, I love this, or COD 1. But if I play like Black Ops 4, I'll be like, because it's just not a snapshot. Do you know what I mean?
It's not the same. I mean, COD 5's where it's at for me. I love that game.
Oh, I love COD 5. COD 5 is a bay. Yeah, fucking hell too, right. Right, anyway, Charlie, so tell me what you thought of Roller Coaster
I
Tycoon
really like it.
1.
It combines all the elements of the original SimCity with TTD, which is Transport Tycoon Deluxe, all into one. It's pretty good, except with obviously
by the same
roller
person.
coaster theme, which I mean put me off for a while because I fucking hate roller coasters. Like I just hate theme parks. But actually, it's a really well made game and I like it. So
That's a good question, actually. Do you like theme parks, Zen?
No. I mean,
Let me
I
think.
really, really liked the idea of them when I was a kid. I really, really liked playing, as I said, theme park world, and I really, really wanted to go to a theme park because I was like very hyped. I thought I'd really, really enjoy it, and I have been to like quite a lot. We used to go for school trips. It was called the reward trip. It was shit, and we used to go to Flamingo Land. I've been to a few.
Oh, Flamingo Land, yeah. Okay,
Now, I have been on roller coasters and really enjoyed them. Like, I really enjoyed. Where I was absolutely terrified. Like, when I first went to a theme park, I didn't go on a single roller coaster. I'm quite often a little bitch about things I've not done, and I was so scared of roller coasters I never went on. And like I went on.
But they're quite daunting though, aren't they? Sorry, like you turn up and they're so fucking tall. Like, you just don't.
Well, that's exactly it. When I went to, after going to a theme park a couple of times and never going on a roller coaster, I then went to the Blackpool Pleasure Beach, which is the second. I know Blackpool, not as good as Hull, City of Culture, but
true.
But I went on like a small one and I quite enjoyed it. I was like okay with it, and then like the second roller coaster I'd ever been on in my life was the Pepsi Max big one, which is if you don't know it, like I don't know, Google it or something. But it's like this huge drop. I think at one point it was like the tallest roller coaster in the world or something. I don't really know, but it was.
It did have a record. It
had some sort of record. Yes. It was really good. But you basically go up a massive incline. It takes like minutes and minutes to get up to the top. You go really slowly, and then you hang like slightly fucking upside down at the top as like the momentum catches up with the last few bits of the. It like goes straight down, but so straight down that it curves back on itself. And I know that's a complete contradiction, but you know what I mean. Like you drop. You hang over the edge if you're at the front because you're waiting for like the last cars to make it over the lid at the top, and then you shoot the fuck down, and it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. Fucking terrifying. We went on that a few times then. It was great. But to get back to my original point, I don't like
you were
them
like
because
fucking terrified, but we did it a few times.
Yeah. No, after I'd been on it, it's like it's like getting like an injection at the dentist or something. After you've done it, it's nothing to be scared of. Or
it's the fear of the unknown, isn't it?
You just go to the dentist and you're just like, nah, I'll have another two.
Yeah,
gives a few more jabs.
Like a throwback to last week when I fear of having a doctor's finger up your ass. Not that bad. And then I was going back every day. I was knocking on the door. Can you do that again? You've got to leave us alone, or we will call the police.
Can you put something bigger in, please?
Yeah. Try two this time. But no, it was roller coasters. I don't like theme parks because I get motion sick pretty easy. And then like it's shit. There are people everywhere. It's hot. Everything's expensive. You eat a bunch of like shit, sweet, sickly food, and then go on like a track that throws you around violently, and you just end up feeling really ill, and it's not worth the price. Like if I was with some mates and they really wanted to go and everyone else was having fun, I think I'd enjoy the day out, but I would never decide I wanted to go to one under my own
like I'm going to I agree. I mean the weirdest bit about it is like you turn up and it's like all you can eat pizza and stuff, and it's like, isn't that backwards? Like all you can eat pizza so you can vomit off the roller coaster and then eat some more afterwards.
They should like do this would be a good system on two levels. They should like say, when you go on a roller coaster we'll give you a ticket, and like the more scary the roller coaster the more tickets you get, so you have to go and collect these tickets, and then when you get like 10 or whatever you can get access to the all you can eat pizza. So you have to
so you're saying
it's like
have the pizza after.
It gets people to have the pizza after, and also it's like a challenge to people. It's like you it's like gamifying it, saying you have to go, and if you go on the scariest roller coasters you get more tickets, and like people
but you are technically starving people though. Like you're kind of like, you better go on our rides, fuckface, or you're not getting any
The other
food.
thing is you can't leave the park unless you've got the tickets as well. And if it gets to 5 o'clock, the park shuts down, they lock the doors, and the roller coasters go off, and obviously you still can't get into the pizza place, so you just have to wander around bereft until the park opens the next day. Hopefully it's not a bank holiday, because you'll be waiting for days just trying to get the tickets so you can get food and leave.
I mean, I'd have a real problem with that because I like pizza, So like, I think if I had the tickets to leave or have all you can eat pizza, I'd have a real struggle.
You'd stay there and eat pizza.
Yeah, I think so, probably.
So you've eaten all the pizza. There's no more pizza. You have to leave. But I don't have the tickets to leave. Terrible.
That would be tragic. Tragic.
I've never been on any like extreme roller coasters. I think the worst I've been on, Or like the most dramatic is like Air at Alton Towers.
I've not been on that.
Have you not been?
Oh, that
it's
rings
the
a
one
bell.
where they lie you down, and it's got like 3 corkscrews in it.
That already
and
sounds
then
terrifying.
and then
They
a loop.
lie you down.
And then a loop. Yeah, like you get into the seat, and then the seat like turns you, so you are facing the floor.
Oh, fuck's sake.
So you start lying down essentially.
So it simulates escape velocity in a fucking rocket.
But
Elon
honestly,
Musk's rocket ride.
lying down makes it a lot better.
But yeah, that's sort of what I thought.
You're not tipped upside down and feeling sick.
I suppose.
So actually,
yeah,
I went round all the
throttled,
corkscrews, and I was like, "This is fucking great!" And I was like, I had my arms out, and I was singing like "Walking in the Air" because it was near Christmas. The whole way round, it was great. I did lose one of my shoes though.
I thought you were going to say like fingers or something, given that you had your arms stuck out.
No, it was good though.
You lost a shoe and then it got caught in the mechanism, and then 2 days later 100 people died. So let's just jump right into the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie, do you have anything else on your Google Doc? Because we've got Gin Quests and I've got Harry's segment, but we've also got a couple of questions from the audience at home.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, I forgot you'd do that.
You mean our one fan, our number one fan?
I think we've got 1.5 now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, one person's a really big fan, and another person says, "Well, you know, it's all right. I can put
It's
up
all
with
right.
it."
It's all right.
Yeah,
I could watch it again.
Okay, should we do the questions?
All right.
I want to answer some questions. That'd be cool.
From Discord. All right. Is Fallout 76 as terrible as people say it is?
Yeah, no, it's probably worse. I'll be honest. Like, I really feel strongly about that game, and I have no reason to, because I was never interested in it. Like, as soon as I saw like
I've not actually looked into it. I've not looked into it. I actually know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Because when I played Fallout 4, I got it in a bundle with my PlayStation about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, Fallout 4, cool. You know, like, because I love Fallout 3, that was great. And I got 4, and the frame rate on PlayStation 4 is a fucking catastrophe.
You know where you
like,
went wrong there, don't you, Harry? You were playing a game
yes,
on a PlayStation.
I know. Hey, some things are nice and chill, you know, sit on the sofa. But
sit on the sofa. Good advice.
But seriously, got it, and it was like, honestly, about 15 FPS a lot of the time. So it was like unplayable. I just couldn't play it. And then after that, my love of Fallout died. But I've heard all the shit with Fallout 70, whatever mobber it is. And yeah, it sounds like they've really like just not done anything. Is it that they've recycled assets?
They've really beansed it up. To use technical terms, they've beansed it up.
They have really beansed it up.
They did recycle assets, but as a game artist, I think that you should do that. But the problem is that, well, there's loads of problems, but there's almost nothing to do because there's no NPCs, and players don't behave like NPCs, like, you know, they want them to. Like, no player's going to say, "Oh, I'm a shopkeeper now and I'm going to, you know, sit here and trade with people." Like, you'll do that for 10 minutes, then you'll get bored and go off and shoot.
Yeah,
things.
Essentially, they asked their audience
online,
to be their NPCs. That's what they were advertising. They were like, "We want you to make the world," and they were like, "No."
It's like all of the Bethesda bugs, which are charming in games like Skyrim, because there's an actual game there that's good on its own. It's just a game of bugs. It's like Bug Simulator, and there's nothing to do. They really fucked up. Like they sort of bait and switched on like some of the collector's edition merch and gave people really cheap versions of what they were promised, which is just rude.
I can hear your keyboard. Oh my god. I don't want to be. I'll save it for my Indian.
Oh, I had an Indian last night. He was a lovely
How
chap.
was he?
Nice one. Nice one, Harry. I would shake your hands were we not like 200 miles away or whatever. I had a game-breaking bug in Skyrim that was so bad. It was now this is sort of a bad example because I really loved it, but it was
Skyrim?
No, this specific bug in Skyrim.
Wait,
I actually really liked it, but I shouldn't have. That's not an excuse.
Okay.
It was really, really bad. I'd like put about half an hour into the character, which I know isn't a lot, but because people play Skyrim for hundreds of hours. But some people might not be able to do that. They might spend if I started a new RPG and then spent half an hour investing in this character, and then it broke and I had to start again.
You wouldn't bother, probably.
No, I wouldn't bother, absolutely. But I got about halfway through, and it was when the first dragon was attacking. You're supposed to then unlock the dragon shout powers, which is the entire point of the game. You are the Dragonborn. Everything hinges on that, and that you need that to advance the quest, because you go and you have to demonstrate that you can shout to the people. You have to go and do the quests, which involve shouting. And I got to this bit, and I didn't get the dragon shout powers. I was not the Dragonborn in a game where everything relies on you being the Dragonborn, even the basic, because I couldn't progress. They stand there and say, wow, you are the Dragonborn. I want to see you shout so the quests can progress. And then I couldn't do it. I ended up in this game not being the point of the game at all, but I was just a random dude.
You're an NPC, mate.
I was an NPC. I was just some
NPC.
random bloke in the world of Skyrim, and everyone was walking around going, oh, Jesus Christ, the dragons are attacking and burning down our fields and houses. And I was there like, that is nothing to do with me, mate. I'm just going to keep I'm going to keep nicking these potatoes out of your garden.
Shut the fuck up, mate. I don't know about dragons.
I really loved that. I really, really liked it, because I'd played Skyrim loads at this point, and it was quite nice to just be some random guy in the world of Skyrim without having, like, it was a really different experience. However, that does not make that bug acceptable. That really broke the game. And the fact that I fucking loved it sort of shouldn't matter. But, there you go. I thought it was really funny anyway.
So I think to answer the question, yes, it is as bad as
me. Like 10 minutes.
Um,
I'm so bad at this. Charlie's like, we have to get the podcast to under an hour. And I'm like, we are going to keep getting longer and longer every week, and I can't. I'm sorry. Next question.
All right, so that question was from Bio. He also sent us in several other questions. He said, who is your favourite Australian and why is it me?
My favourite Australian, I'm sorry, Bio, is the man who punched a kangaroo. Have you seen that video, Harry, where there's a man is like there's a kangaroo who's got this man's dog in a headlock, and the dog's like bleeding pretty badly, and the man goes up and like sort of blusters at it, and the kangaroo drops the dog and it runs off, and then like they're squaring up to each other, and the man swings at him and punches the kangaroo right in the face, and then just walks off, and the kangaroo stood there looking affronted. And the reason I love that is because in a weird way I thought that was like super respectful. Like that was like you respect that kangaroo as an equal, and you didn't like just pull out a hunting rifle and shoot it like an animal. You didn't.
No, you punched it like a man.
You just went up to this person, like, because they obviously look pretty human as well. They were just stood in basically the same position, and he just punched him and was like, "No, let that be a lesson to you." And I feel like when humans and animals fight, it's usually pretty one-sided. Either when we're gonna shoot them and they die, or we're being ripped apart by a lion. It's very one-sided, and I really liked that. It was like what you would do to another person who was being a dick. Like if another human had grabbed your dog, you would push him off, punch him in the face, and then walk off. You know what I mean? Like it was. I really liked that. So he's my favorite Australian, because it was sort of quite a beautiful moment, which was weird because it was a man punching someone. Something.
That's good though. Yeah, but that's quite Australian.
It was also super badass, of course.
All right.
Yeah. So Charlie, do you want to answer that next, or should I do so?
What?
Are you not going to answer the
question
question
the
as
favourite
well?
Australian?
Yes. Who's your favourite Australian?
I don't know. I think it's tied between Sean and Bio, I have to say.
Nah. Bio's hands down better than Sean.
Savage.
Although I should say, I've actually just.
But Bio does watch.
Yeah, I've just seen actually in the Discord. Sean has actually finally updated his logo, and it looks really, really good.
It does. It looks super nice.
Check out twitch.tv/PixelSean. He's better than we are.
Well, I'm just going to throw in a curveball there. I was going to go for a celebrity, but I technically don't know them. So like Zen doesn't know the man that punched the kangaroo, I presume.
That wasn't part of the question. Also, I do. His name is. Jimmy McBoomerang.
Jimmy McBoomerang.
He works for Foster's.
That's the worst Australian accent ever.
Why are you always South African when you're Australian? This happened last week as well.
Okay, I think my favourite is Karlik.
Oh, shit, actually, yeah.
Is Karlik Australian?
Yes, Karlik is Australian, and I think Karlik's the best.
Karlik is Australian. I don't know why.
By the way, guys, if you don't know who Karlik is, he watches us sometimes.
He also made our intro and outro music.
Yeah, Karlik's made music for us. He talks to us a lot. He puts up with our shit. And honestly, he really cares about mental health. He super cares about mental health. and he cares about people, and I just think that's pretty cool. And he is the only he's one of the 3 Australians I know, so I'm going to pick him.
don't like Karlik because he's just he shows me up. He shows me up because I care about mental health and I play guitar, but Karlik cares about mental health to the point where he actually does like fundraising stuff for it, and he's actually really nice to people, whereas I just get people on a podcast and then shout at them. And he plays guitar really, really, really fucking well. And I'm like, we're probably about the same age, and it'll take me until I'm 40 to get to that like level of guitar playing. So
he teaches music,
he teaches it, right?
Fair.
Yeah, he teaches
fuck
kids.
you, Karlik, for being good. Fuck you for being better than me.
So yeah, I think that's good. So we've got a kangaroo boxer, potentially Bio or Sean, or a mix.
And Karlik.
And Karlik. There you go. You're welcome.
We should straw poll it. All right.
Right. So what else is bio?
Okay, I'll do all of bios first. Is it worth going back and buying old PS2 or PS games when you know the consoles will become extinct very soon?
What? Hang on, sorry, I want to jump in on this. What do you mean extinct
Dunno.
soon? They are extinct. Like, already.
Ouch.
Like, has he not heard of an emulator?
I suppose, yeah.
So, moving on.
Legal, by the way, TM.
Not a cult does not support use of emulators, except that they are really good.
Actually, emulators are not
No, they're
illegal. Having the BIOS is illegal. That's the illegal part. But essentially, if you can find a legal BIOS or purchase one at your local BIOS shop,
Sorry, are you mispronouncing bios?
BIOS.
Because I think there's only one of them.
Yeah. Bio. If you want to buy a BIOS, you just go, somewhere. I would know. And yeah, just get an emulator, whack a BIOS in there, and get your games. So yes, it's totally worth playing them, but for free, not for money, I would argue. What do you think, Zen? Would you buy the new little mini PlayStation thing?
No, because they're always shit. Like, they're always really bad. Like,
And they're
I mean,
a
if you
rip-off.
want it, and you think you're going to enjoy it, yeah, buy it and have it. But it's not.
True.
If
If it's gonna make you happy and you're gonna enjoy playing the games, then do it.
The thing is that I find it really funny that it's like, hi, here at Sony, we're producing the PlayStation 1 in all of its shit original glory, with old technology from the age of strife. But we're going to preload 20 games on it, so you have no choice of what else you'll play on it. So you basically pay £100 for an old shit controller, an old shit console, and 20 games that you can't modify?
Well, you can play other things on it, surely. Like with the Nintendo.
No, it's preloaded. Like, it's not disc, it's like preloaded.
Oh shit,
that's
that
it.
sucks. I mean, at least the Nintendo
Yeah, it's the same
version,
for...
I think you can add to it.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I mean, you missed the biggest criticism of them, which is that it's a console. Even if it's like it's like a real step down from an actual console to a shit fake console, but it's a console. And if you're starting from console and just going down from there, probably not going to be great.
That's already pretty low on the scale, yeah.
Oh, though the PS1 emulator, they have announced that they're going to be bringing Skyrim to it, so there's that.
What? Are you serious?
I'm not serious.
No. Oh, wait, I don't
solid meme.
God. For fuck's sake. I swear to God, I live under a rock.
Do.
Like these things just go over my head.
I love how behind you are on memes.
Yeah, also, by the way, fuck you for gnoming us so many times. Don't gnome your chums.
I can't remember what the question was.
Something about...
it was about the PlayStation. Yes, get an emulator.
There
you go.
So, next question.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You're not giving him one.
I should give him the EXE.
Alright, why was Guitar Hero Live such a flop?
I don't know.
Wait, what? What is Guitar Hero Live?
I'm going to go out on a guess. I think it might have been Guitar Hero's version of Rocksmith, where it was like a real guitar. I don't know. That might be completely wrong.
I have to say, you probably asked the worst possible audience you could have asked here.
No, hey, what? We all have master's degrees in games-related stuff, and and I play guitar and love Guitar Hero. I think we're a pretty good target audience for it. It's just that I don't know.
Exactly.
It seems to be like real rock audiences react to your music or something.
Fuck.
which sounds like
That
cringy
sounds
as
so
fuck.
bad.
So yeah, I guess even just from reading that synopsis, that's why it didn't do well. I think that basically. What do you think, Zen? I think that outlines it.
You really hit the nail on the head there.
That just sounds like it can't possibly work properly.
No, I don't get it. Oh, guys, we're going to a concert. Oh, who's on? Oh, Billy McJay from Australia. He's playing one rock band. He's streaming it on Twitch.
You all right there, guys? It's Billy McJay. I've just punched a kangaroo. I lost my boomerang, so in order to cheer myself up, I'm going to play you some music. Apparently, I'm from the East End of London, not Australia.
And please get the. That was a terrible.
I'd like to
accent.
redact
Holy
that
shit.
accent.
Yeah, it's like surely if they have to react to it, don't they need like their mobile phone out, like to like actually like sync up to it, like Jackbox or something, and like react with like smiley faces or rock on hands or something. Like,
I don't know. We're now just speculating on something we know nothing about. I think
we are speculating, Bio, but you let us know if we've got it right. I bet I have. There we go. That's why it's shit.
So this is a very important question. It says, will you have other people join you on the CultCast?
No.
No.
Shut up, Harry. Shut up. No, we are absolutely not having other people on the podcast, especially not Sam.
Do you think if Sam was on the podcast, you'd get to say anything? Can that be my question for the podcast?
No. So, Sam talks an awful lot when he's on his own stream, but when we do stuff on a Friday night, he's a good listener as well. He's just a better talker. He's a level 3 listener and a level 5 talker. It's all good. Plus, you have to remember that my incredible ability to shout bollocks over everyone in the vicinity.
That is very true, actually. Yeah.
It will be good because Sam will be able to shut me down when I'm going on too long about something. So it's good.
Yeah, because he'll just.
Yeah, he has a very good instinct for when someone's been talking for too long. Given his incredible experience in the topic of doing it himself. That joke didn't really land, did it?
I do love Sam, but he does like to talk. But the thing is, he knows he likes to talk.
I wouldn't say
like
we
me.
love Sam,
So,
but he likes to talk. I'd say we love Sam and he likes to talk. I think those are...
All right, Mr. Grammar Nazi. I'm sorry.
All right, moving swiftly on before we annoy.
I tell you what,
both
Harry's
our own
special
admins
topic. Harry's special
else.
topic is going to go really badly because I've spent the past hour really riling him up. So when whenever I'm going to ask you some questions or whatever, and you'll just be there like, I don't care, Zen. I fucking hate you. Fucking away.
All right. What animal's better, dogs or cats? Go.
They're both great.
I
think that.
But if you were going to get a pet, let's reword it. What would you get?
Well, I wouldn't get either because I don't like the idea of having to feed a pet meat, but I would get a cat, probably. I don't know. I go back and forth on the issue. I love them both absolutely to bits. They're just too different. I think that better, objectively, dogs, because dogs are like the most pure species on the planet, and they're just lovely. Like, we don't deserve dogs, and lots of people have said that.
All right, Harry, what would you get?
If I could keep a dog with me all day, a dog, I'd have to take it to the office or work from home because I'd feel too sad for leaving like a pupper or a doggo at home. But cats are pretty cool too, because cats just chill the fuck out. You like cats kind of remind me of like reptiles. In the case of like you don't need to care, like you care every now and then. You're like, oh, you need watering or something.
You're just
and
pouring
it's like, that's fine, right?
watering can.
It's not a fucking plant.
Yeah, but it's like you need water, you need food.
Why
whatever.
doesn't my cat
and
like
then,
me?
And then you just leave it, right? And it's fine. It's totally fine. It goes out, shags some female cat, whatever. It doesn't.
You should have it.
I was gonna say
default,
you probably should have taken it to be neutered.
You need to cut its balls off,
with
a rusty knife.
All right, this is why I don't have a cat.
I went to see a mate yesterday. We went to see Fantastic Beasts. It was great. I know that a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was amazing. There's one scene in particular which just destroyed me, and it was just so great. But not the point of this question. They've just got a cat, and they got a house cat because they live in a flat, and a house cat in a flat. And I would get a house cat because that's what I think cats generally, not all of them of course, but most cats I think are just fine lounging around a house full time. You know what I mean? As long as they're not in a tiny little box of an apartment, as long as there's plenty of space.
Yeah,
they're generally quite
if you've got
happy.
enough room. I think that they don't, like, I've seen the house cats before, like some of my friends have had them, and they seem happy, like, to just
the cat
do what they do.
my friend got, like, actually wasn't a house cat. The cat needed to be rehomed, and they said, I'll take her, but if I get a cat, I need to get a house cat. I live in a flat, like up in the sky. And they said, well, she's not yet. Shut your mouth. You know what I mean? So she said, they said to her, said to my friend, this cat isn't a house cat, but she never goes outside. Like, she will go outside occasionally to avoid the other cats in the house that she doesn't like, but she never goes outside. And since they rehomed the cat, like, she's been absolutely fine. Like, not like scratching at the door or anything. Just quite happy to lounge around on different sofas.
I think a cat if you don't have time, dog if you do.
I think that's fair.
That's my answer.
I think I'd probably get a cat. Like, the dog, sorry. I like cats. Sorry. Completely.
I think I'd get a
50-50 chance. I think I'll get a cat.
I'll
Oh, wait, no, a dog. The other thing.
Yeah. I think I'd probably get a dog if I was going to get one. But I can't really, because a dog would probably try and eat my guinea pigs.
Nah, I'd sniff through them.
I don't know. I obviously it's not worth the risk, but I have seen like cats and dogs being really good friends with guinea
I know,
pigs,
but you
like,
never
genuinely.
know. Like, one of my friends,
of course, you never know.
One
It's
of my
not
friend's
worth the risk.
parents had a baby and a dog, and the dog was fine with it for years. Well, months, sorry, years. Obviously, it wouldn't be a baby anymore. Months, and then all of a sudden, it just like lunged for it, and it's like,
It just understood the overpopulated world. That
See, I told you,
got a
dogs are very
taste of
enlightened.
humans. Though.
So too.
I honestly, I really like dogs because
Yeah,
I
as well.
genuinely think they are proper fucking enlightened. They will eat the same food every day. They don't. All they want to do is go out for a walk and have the love of the family. Like, the dogs are proper chill, apart from when they try and eat babies. But everyone does that from time to time. It's not anything we should judge.
Everyone wants a baby nibble.
All right, now that came out weird.
I was just.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Only your mind's perspective made that weird. Actually, I did see a dog in a pub.
It was going mental
because the dog came up to me, so I stroked the dog, and the dog was fantastic. And then
the dog ate a
walked
baby.
away, and I was like, fair enough. And there's hardly any room on the bench with the owner. But the dog just like basically booted him along the bench and forced to like squeeze up next to him. And then my favourite part was then the dog just turned its head as if to just look at him. Like, hello.
Yeah.
You know, just like so happy sitting next to him.
What I really love
It's
about
just so
dogs is
cute.
that they like when there's a power dynamic, the dog is totally happy with it. Like, if you say to the dog through your actions, I'm the pack leader, you've got to do what I say, you know, and not shit on the carpet or whatever, or attack that baby. You know, dogs respect it, and they're very happy with their place in the pack. Generally, they won't.
Yeah,
you know, whereas a cat is very, you know, superior, and it just does its own thing. Like, as a dog really thinks, wow, I love this pack of dogs. All the other dogs are really funny and walk upright, but you know, these dogs are great that I'm living with. Like, they just think you're the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know. So you get a dog. So we got dog. Was it dog?
I'd get a dog. I love them both, but I think at the moment I would definitely get a dog.
Right. So
Mostly because I
dogs,
like
there
to
you
go out hunting babies, so I'd need some companionship, you know.
Well, I'm just not going to speak again after my
Oh,
last
no.
comment. So. No, just on the topic of babies and eating.
Have we got any more questions?
Yeah, let's please move on. Bio said, "Are you subscribed to PewDiePie?"
Yeah, I actually went on my other alternate accounts. Like, I have my personal account, I have a work account, I have one that's like not called Zen, and I've now been on all of them and subscribed to PewDiePie. I'm doing my part. Are you?
I might subscribe to PewDiePie using the cult account. So
I
subscribed on
think
my
I
own
might
account.
have already done that, but if I haven't, yeah, do that.
Okay, beautiful. Harry, I know you're not actually. I don't think you are. No.
No, I'm not. No, I used to be. But I liked his horror content years ago. And then when he started faking reactions, that's when
He's just so genuine now. Like,
interest
that's
in
the
him.
thing. He doesn't do gaming much anymore. He's just super genuine and just in it for the memes. Like, literally every video on his channel is about memes, or it's a book review. Like, his
Yeah,
he's
he
really
does
weird.
actually really good book reviews.
He's just such a nice... And the weird thing is, when the Wall Street Journal thing happened, and they were like, PewDiePie is a Nazi. At first, when I saw that I didn't like PewDiePie because he was the most popular, and I just, my instinctive reaction was, fucking PewDiePie, of course he's a Nazi, fucking serves him right. And then I actually watched what had happened. No, he's not a Nazi, turns out. And I watched his response, and I was like, wow, this guy's like super genuine. I really like him. And then I actually started watching his content, and I think loads of people did. I think that really worked out well for him.
Well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I knew about him years ago. Let's be
hipster Harry strikes
like I said,
again.
But I enjoyed, but I did. I enjoyed his, starting being a YouTuber, building up through YouTube, his content, how it built up, and all that jazz. And I loved horror games, so it was a really good way for me to view horror games. I don't watch many people who do like sort of IRL shit or reviews or anything in general, so I'm not going to just go and watch him because he's the most subbed person on YouTube. If anything, I stopped liking him because he started being fake. And I know that's a long time ago, but like, you'd watch a horror video of him and he'd react to a scare about 4 seconds later to what actually happened, and it was so cringe. It was like, fuck you, man. Like, if you're not...
Like, he had to react because that's what he did, and then that's why I like him now, is because he doesn't do anything he doesn't want to anymore. And he thought he was going to lose shitloads of views over it, but turns out people actually like it when they watch people who enjoy what they're doing. Who'd have thought it?
Well, that's the joy of being popular in the first place, isn't it? You can do. On the other hand, though,
if you change the content you make, people do not like it. Like, generally, Hat Films tried to start branching out, like not just doing gaming content, and like people threw their toys out the pram like real hard.
That's why I like that we're doing lots of stuff early on. Like, I want to branch out now so that people know we're going to do random shit.
I know I have a horrible habit of talking over everyone all the time. Feel free to just slap me down. But I was subscribed to, because I like Here's the Storm. We met at Gamescom. Remember, I met MF Pally I was like having a little happy little trouser accident.
Yes, you were hyped as fuck.
Meeting him. Yeah. And he was part of, I think it's not a thing anymore, but he was part of the network TGN, and they did a show called Squadron, which was like a bunch of Heroes YouTubers who did stuff together. They were Squadron. This other guy from Squadron, who I was subscribed to, but I didn't really watch his content much, I just was subscribed to him, called Hengist, and he sort of went dark on YouTube for a while, and I didn't watch his stuff anyway, so I didn't really notice. And then all of a sudden I was looking through my sub box and found a vegan channel that I was like, oh, I didn't know I was subscribed to this. Like, I'm subscribed to like 2 vegan related channels that do recipes and shit on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I don't remember this, what the hell's this channel? And then I looked at the thumbnail and I was like, that's fucking Hengist, what the fuck is this? And now he's doing like loads of videos of like discussing like topics and shit, and he's like showing people how to like plant vegetables and shit, and like make your own allotment in your back garden. I was like, whoa, he really shifted gears hard on that. And then the other day he was doing Warcraft 3 Reforged, and I was like, just pick a lane. What the fuck is this? But I mean, as long as the lad's happy,
he's allowed. Hey mate, everyone's allowed to be fluid. You know what I'm saying? Also, to answer the question, 2 subscribers, 1
essentially.
not.
The next, this is the most important question that anybody got asked, and it says, thoughts on this old channel I dug up. For reference, I'm going to send you a link to this channel.
I've seen it.
Oh, no, you haven't, have you?
I would just like to point out that this is Harry's old YouTube channel. I would also like to point out that most of his views have at least 3,000 views. Most of her videos.
Yeah, no, I looked at it and thought, wow, he's got a lot of views. And then I went back to playing Dawn of War. Haha, fuck you bio, you stalker bitch, laughing face, Kappa pride, enjoy the cringe. That was the official response.
Yeah, PR statement by me, yeah.
Now that gave me a good laugh, that did, mate. I thought that was a really good response.
So what do you want to ask about this?
I think we're just trying to shame
What
you.
did you do? I mean, if we do enjoy shaming
well,
I mean, the picture, the photo itself is just beautiful.
Yeah, but I was like 15.
Bubby Harry.
I was like
it's
15.
Little Bubby Harry.
I was 15 at the time. Yeah, I was 15 at the time. So it's like, so I went onto YouTube, and at the time there was a series called Freeman's Mind, and in my youth I was like, oh, this is really funny, haha, someone pretending to be Gordon Freeman while playing Half-Life 1. And I thought that was amusing. So I thought, I like F.E.A.R. So I thought I'll play F.E.A.R. 2 and pretend I'm the protagonist. and make my own series. So it started with that. So I would be American, of course. So I was like, hey guys, what's going on here? Oh, we're fighting in a war zone. Oh my God, what's that over there?
Official accent?
No, it's a bit like that. It's a bit like
God,
that, and it's super
every
cringy.
Episode of
It's
this.
super cringy. It is super cringy. You can watch it, just not with me in the room. I mean, I went so far to actually narrate the title screen, like as if I was in the title screen. So you can tell how professional I was. But yeah, so I started with that. I made about 7 episodes or something and stopped. I mean, I can't remember how many views the best video on there has. I think it's like 18,000 maybe or something. But it was back in YouTube Youth. So
19,000.
19,000. Yeah, my claim to fame. But the videos I actually still like on there are the Cry of Fear ones, because those compilations are actually still quite funny.
I've watched them, actually.
In my opinion.
I have watched them.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to pretend to be anything. I'm just playing the game and getting scared. So if you want to check out the compilations, not Bucket's Mind, do not watch Bucket's Mind, right? But if you want, to check out Cry of Fear, search Brox12. That's BROCKS.
I like how you're plugging
Put that into
a
YouTube.
6 years old dead channel. Like,
So
it's still better than cult content, even now. 6
the
years.
only thing I want to say on the topic, Harry, is that although you are a handsome boy in that photo, I think you look a lot better now. I think you've aged really well. I just think you have a stronger aesthetic going on right now. Not to say that you aren't a pretty boy in that picture, but I think you've done well. I think you've done well when you grew up.
Thanks, mate. I mean, I had a lot of say in that. But yeah, so there you go. Go to the channel if you want to watch me be cringy, basically. But yeah, that's my old channel. And bio, just for you stalker bastard.
yeah, how did you find that?
How did you
That's
even
actually
find
impressive.
that? Please tell us how you found that. Please. Sometimes I can't find my own channel from there. So I don't know how you found it.
Yeah, that is really
but
weird.
Yeah, there you go.
Jig got me suggested on Facebook as well. Like,
that's creepy.
That's
creepy.
probably because I am friends with Tosses, and so it links to
so it
Jig.
links up.
that's fair. But we remember ages ago, Harry, we were talking about Google always listening and like tailoring ads to things you just say. So we were talking about Mechanicus, the new 40k game. We stopped recording.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was the live stream on Friday. We stopped doing the live stream. I got up, went for a wee, so of course I immediately get up YouTube, and I click on the first video, and there's an advert for Mechanicus there. So I mean, it's so scary.
Oh my god! No, mate. I got an advert at work once about hairlines.
I've got one.
So.
Was it an ad for wigs?
No, it was just I think it was just an ad for like how to grow your hair.
How to grow your hair.
Was it a link to the
But
WikiHow
obviously
page? Did it
bollocks.
tell you to put bananas on it?
Yeah, WikiHow, how to grow hair. Meh.
Next question. Sam says Chinese or Indian?
Indian.
As in as a lover or food?
Oh, that does complicate matters.
Although
yeah,
you do
it
have a
does.
type, yeah.
See, if it's lover, I'm going Chinese, and if it's food, I'm going Indian.
I saw an article from
There you
The
go.
Onion which said that 6 million Japanese men admit to having a bit of an Asian fetish. That would have been a lot more funny if I'd managed to get the words out, and I think it was a bit racist anyway. So let's cut that out.
Yeah, there you go. Chinese people and Indian food.
Harry's motto for life is Chinese women, Indian food.
Fucking hell.
Sorry.
Alright.
Solid.
It's the fake name man himself, Mr. Rolo Runner. He said 5 songs you take to a desert island.
We're going to be here for ages.
Oh, fuck me. Go on, Zen. Just rattle off a vague
I'll do
impression.
albums because that's just quicker. I would say City of Evil by Avenged Sevenfold. I would say Fantasies by Metric. I would say Dark Passion Play by Nightwish. I would say All the Lights in the Sky by Area 11. And
Solid.
The Best of Camille Cézanne, whose name I'm sure I butcher.
Alright, I'd
You can't make a decision about anything, so this is going to be fun.
take a couple
Shots
of
fired.
Chiba songs, probably like Spoons and something else. I can't
Is
remember
that
the name
the
of the other
South
one.
African rap?
Oh, Sugar Water. No. That's you're thinking of me. My God, I can't even remember. Oh, D'Antwoord. You're thinking of D'Antwoord. It's pronounced
Diantwood,
D,
fucking
God.
hell. Alright.
I'm very good at
All right,
Afrikaans, as I'm sure
Afrikaans,
you
mate.
all know. You just have to say the word prawn, and people get your meaning.
Okay, I'd probably
Fucking
take Toto
prawn.
Africa
Yeah, right.
because, no song is more me. I'd take Love Shack and I'd take
You'd take Love Shack just to remind you of how lonely and alone you are on that desert island.
I don't know what I'd take.
I've built
for
a
my fifth
shack,
song.
but there's no love to be found.
I'd probably take a Muse song actually.
Hysteria, gotta be Hysteria.
No,
It's the first
I
song
like
anyone
Hysteria,
ever learns on
but
guitar.
I'd probably take Resistance actually. I'd probably take Muse
mainstream.
Resistance.
So, oh god.
Yep.
So is that your 5? Alright, I'd probably take 3 Alan Watts Chill Steps. Just 3. Because they...
Yeah, boy. Sorry, I was just seeing if I could remember it, because I learnt that when I was like 5, and I've not played it since, so I'm just seeing if I could remember it.
Because they're quite long. They're like an hour long each, but they kind of count as a song. So I'm going to take those.
Plus, that's some spiritual wisdom to help you along.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take Big Enough.
Oh
Just to remind me of the good times.
It's crazy, man. Talking to a fucking
remember
football with a face on, and you're just like...
Let's remake Castaway.
Right.
It's just Harry on an island with a football, and the camera pans over to Wilson, the football, and then it pans back to Harry, and it zooms in on his eyes, and he looks at Wilson, and he just starts screaming at him.
Yeah, well, that's a perfect rendition, really. But yeah, so my 5th. I'd probably take Blame Thrower by Ruben. That's quite a good one. Yeah, there you go. That's about it. And if you don't know that song,
Do you know what is it called? Flamethrower?
Blame Thrower.
Flamethrower. I'll listen to that afterwards, because you generally have a really good taste in music, apart from Big Enough, of course.
Yeah, but that's more banter. But yeah, no, Blame Thrower's good. Right, so there you go.
Alright, this is the last question. Rollo Runner talked about what counts as a sandwich before on our first podcast. But Bio sent in a question, is a hot dog a sandwich or a taco?
How is it a taco?
Because of the shape of the
It's a
bread, I
sandwich.
presume. It's like
But
circular.
and now this is definitely going to be racist, but sandwiches are much more of a basic thing than tacos. Tacos are a very specific thing. Sandwiches is like a large umbrella term. Come on, it's a sandwich, all right? It's a sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the right angle for a taco. I'd say like for it to be a taco, it needs to be like 80
I'm pretty
degrees.
sure the
Like there's a specific measurement in your head. Like
what makes a taco is the taco shell, surely. Whereas what makes something a sandwich is the bread. So
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
having the
yeah.
hot dog in a taco shell, it's a taco. A really, really weird one. But if you're having it in a bun, which I think is what you mean, because otherwise it would just be a hot dog, it wouldn't be a sandwich or a taco, it would just be a sausage.
just a sausage in Bio's hands.
I think my favourite thing about this is how
I-
heated Zen is right now. He's like, what is this madness? It's got to be the taco
I'd
shell.
just like to state for the record, Harry, I'm really, really glad that you came on the podcast. I really like speaking to you, and I know you're going to come away from this hour and a half thinking, bloody hell, I need a break. Like, that he's just too intense.
I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving it. I could do with Toddy.
Fucking Toddy!
That's fine. I got them both. So I think that's the answer, isn't it? It has to be an 80-degree taco shell to be a taco.
Brilliant. Excellent. Ah, thanks, guys. What a wonderful, wonderful podcast. Now, if you want to hear what happens next, such as the continued adventures of Charlotte Ginsbury, or that weird thing I made for Harry last week, you'll have to wait until next week. So make sure you subscribe and ding that obnoxious bell, or alternatively go to CFAX page 407 and enter the code 0800 GFY GFY.